This is AGA Northwest Stars Week 2 at-home workout. As with all exercises, please use common sense in a safe environment. To reduce and avoid injury, we will want you to check with your doctor before beginning any type of fitness program. By performing any exercises, you are performing them at your own risk. AGA Northwest will not be responsible or liable for any injury or harm you sustain as a result of the information shared on our YouTube video. Enjoy! Okay, stars, let's get our bodies moving. Coach Esperanza is showing us how to do front leg kicks. Her arms are out to the side just like an airplane, and she's kicking her leg forward, up, and quick. As she gets to the end of the pass, you'll notice that she goes on high toes and does a pivot turn. Let's do 2 passes of these in a row. Once you've completed the front kicks, let's transition into back kicks. You'll notice Esperanza's arms are still in second position out to the side, and she's kicking her leg backwards. We're going to pretend like we have mud on our foot and we're flinging it behind us. This is helpful for leaps, split jumps, and cartwheels. Okay, girls, let's put a little pep in our step. Coach Esperanza is showing us our basic skips. Her hands are on her waist and she's pushing through her bottom foot as she pulls the top leg up to passe. Okay, let's really get our legs working. Coach Esperanza is showing us frog jumps. She's touching the floor and going as low as she can while reaching up and pushing through her legs across the panels. After you've completed your frog jumps, you're going to transition into side chassés. Coach Esperanza has her arms in second position and she's pushing through her feet from the left to the right. Let's do 4 passes of these. Okay, you know what time it is? Splits time. Coach Esperanza is showing you pillow splits. She started off with a pillow and a blanket, and as she gets comfortable and allows herself to go down, she will slowly pull the pillow out just to sit on the blanket. As she practices more, you'll notice that she's able to pull the blanket out, and boom, she's down in the splits. After you've performed your left and right pillow splits, let's move on to the middle splits, which are also called straddles. Here you'll notice that there's a measuring tape, making a T shape. This is measuring how far away from a perfect middle split you can get. Notice Coach Esperanza is sitting in straddle splits. She's about 12 inches away from getting into a perfect line. As she practices, she slowly moves forward closer and closer to that perfect line. Good job, Coach Esperanza. Last stretch before we get into skill work. Now we're doing a shoulder stretch. You'll see here that Coach Esperanza has clasped her hands behind her with her arms straight. She's going to lower her chest down to the floor by keeping her legs straight and lifting her arms up. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, moving on to our back bend segment. Here, Jalen is showing your basic tabletop. She's pushed her belly button up to the sky, and she holds it for 10 seconds. After you've mastered the tabletop hold, you're going to work on tabletop press, where you drop your booty down, straighten your legs, and rock yourself back up. This gets you the action of learning how to push up for a back bend. Another tabletop challenge is the wave. Push yourself up into tabletop and wave at your friend who is also in quarantine. The last tabletop challenge is the tabletop leg kick. You'll notice that Jalen is keeping her leg nice and straight. That's not totally necessary unless you're amazing like her. So what we want you to do is push your belly button up to the sky and also kick your leg. Don't forget to do the left leg and the right. Once you've mastered all of those tabletop challenges, we're going to work on pushing up to a back bend. You'll notice Jalen lays on her back, bends her arms and her knees, and pushes her belly button straight up to the sky and holds it. It's really important that you get your head all the way off the floor and your weight is all on your hands. Once you're comfortable and have mastered the back bend to a push-up and you can hold it there, we'll start adding the rocking shape. Notice here that Jalen is pushed up to a back bend and she's bending her knees ever so slightly and pushing her weight over her shoulders. This is a perfect preparation for back handspring. Next step is the back bend with the jump. Jalen is pushed up to a back bend and she's doing little tiny rocking jumps, showing that she can push through her hands and her feet. Good job, Jalen. Now we're moving on to spider walks. Jalen has looked backwards, put her hands on the wall, and she's slowly walking her hands down into a back bend shape. Once you're able to do this without touching your head, then you can transition on to the standing back bend onto the sofa or your bed. Here Jalen is showing you how strong she is by doing it and standing back up. Wow, Jalen. Jalen is now moving on to the back bend elevated. She's put her feet on her sofa, which I'm sure her mom loves, and she's holding the back bend, getting ready to learn how to kick over. Now that Jalen can do a back bend with her feet elevated and she no longer hits her head on the floor, she's going to learn how to kick her legs over. It's super important that you have an open, soft space, just like Jalen, and that you're not surrounded by a whole bunch of furniture that you might kick on accident. Safety is always number one. After back bend progressions, we're going to move on to cartwheels. Coach Esperanza is showing us how to do ski slope jumps. She's putting her hands on an elevated surface and learning how to transition her weight from one side to the other with a jump. Once you've finalized that, now we're going in to do a half cartwheel. Pick your favorite foot footed in front and lightly kick over your elevated surface. You'll notice that Coach Esperanza has a scrunchie on her favorite foot. When she steps down out of the cartwheel, the scrunchie is behind her, stepping down with her bad foot. Next, we're moving into inverted needle kicks. Coach Esperanza has her favorite foot elevated, which can be on a bed or a sofa, and in this case, the tumble track. She's lifting her leg up 10 times with her hands turned to the side, preparing for a cartwheel. Keeping your foot up on the same elevated surface after doing your needle kicks, you're then going to attempt the cartwheel from the elevated surface. Now that we've practiced the kick into the cartwheel, we're going to work on the stand-up. Coach Esperanza has Pokey, our little stuffed animal, and she's showing how to lift him up over her head as she puts her foot down. This is practicing the stand-up and the last portion of the skill. Once you've done all the cartwheel drills, now it's time to do the cartwheel on the floor. Using Pokey again, we can do a cartwheel by picking him up at the end. Go Pokey! Once you've mastered the single cartwheel, now it's time to go on to 2 in a row. If you can do 2 cartwheels in a row, you can definitely do skips in a hurdle. Now that we've finished up cartwheels, let's move on to the split leap. Coach Esperanza is showing you how to hold her leg up over Pokey's head for a count of 10. Once you've done the front leg hold, you're going to hold your leg up again over Pokey and hop over, landing in an arabesque position. From here, you're going to see Coach Esperanza doing leg kicks. That same favorite leg that she has a scrunchie on is the one that she's kicking in front of her. Once you've done your leg kicks, you're going to do run, leap over the blanket, and then once you've made it over half a blanket, you're going to open the blanket up and try to leap over the full blanket. Okay, Stars Girls, that's AGA Northwest Week 2 at-home workout. Remember, practice makes perfect. We miss you. Good luck, good skills, and go AGA.